I have tried a lot of bad makeup this year. Halfway through the year, I was like, oh, it's going pretty well. I just have a few products that I don't like that much, but I have gathered a lot of products that I haven't liked this year. It is the greatest number that I have ever had for a worst of the year video. So let's get into it. We have a lot to talk about. Alright, so it's not the case that I've tried only bad makeup. It is just that I've tried a lot of makeup this year and some of it is bound to be bad. Also, most of the makeup that I didn't like this year was affordable, but that is because I'm mostly a drugstore focused channel. I also do some indie. I don't try too much luxury, so that is something you're gonna notice. That's the reason why you're gonna see a lot of affordable makeup. Okay, we're gonna start out with bronzers, and I want to start out with these Catrice bronzing cushion products from one of their limited editions. This was from their Summer Obsessed collection, and I do have to say that the formula of this is actually really good. I really like the formula of this. Like, it's really nice. The colors as well. The lightest shade is really beautiful. The thing is, this packaging is unnecessarily bulky and hard to use. Like, just look at this. This is so bulky. And then when you open it up, the actual applicator is just way too big. The hole in the middle is also way too big, and you're always gonna get way too much product with this, and it's just so difficult to use, so hard to blend. It is just such a difficult product. I did declutter these because it's just so hard to use. I don't get why they did this type of packaging. Like, it catches your eye, but that's about it. Like, besides that, it's basically unusable. They did sort of re-release this type of formula in a different packaging, in a packaging with a doe foot, in their Catrice Finding Dory collection, which I was really happy about. So that also made me feel like, okay, these gotta go. I now have this in a much better packaging. Next up for bronzers, I am gonna mention the Bronze Spots by Made by Mitchell. I know some people that really like these, so it's not gonna be a bad product for everyone for sure, but for me, I really didn't like this. I felt like the shimmer particles in this were so sparse and chunky and unflattering on the skin. I did like the color of this, and usually I do really like baked bronzer, baked powders for the face, but this was just too chunky, and I didn't like how those shimmers were so visible and set on the skin. Definitely not for me. Then we have some highlighting type products. And first here I have the Essence It's Bubblegum Fun Liquid Highlighter. The packaging is super cute. The color looked really promising. I was really excited to try this when this first came out. The product itself looks really cute swatched, but when you try to actually apply this on top of your blush, if you actually try to apply this on top of any sort of makeup, this is gonna take off everything underneath. This is like a colored makeup remover. It just slips and slides everything everywhere, and it's just like a blotch where you just have this product, just have the highlighter, and the rest has just completely disappeared off your face. Like, this is basically impossible to use. I didn't like this at all. I hated this. And then I also have here all the glow and bronzing and blush drops from Makeup Revolution. This was a year that a lot of brands came out with these types of like drops, kind of inspired by the Drunk Elephant. And I just thought that these products looked very weird on my dry skin. Like, it made my skin look kind of uneven, even drier than it already is. It didn't look hydrated at all. It looked very patchy, blotchy, and I've tried this multiple ways, using this kind of as a mix-in or using it as a base, or any way you can use this all over the face. It just looked really dry. And then if I try to use this a little bit more pinpointed, so for example this one just as a blush, or the bronzing drops actually like on the high points of the face as a bronzer, it was just very patchy, very hard to blend. It didn't look good at all. I think this might work if you have not as dry skin, if you have normal to oily skin, but for me these didn't look flattering. Then onto more skin products. This was a year that I really got into kind of like skin tints, foundations, things like that, and I did try a few that I really loved, but I also tried a few that I really didn't like. One that I really hated this year is the Skin Hybrid Blurring Skin Tint by Kiko Milano. This one is just like applying cement to the face. It looks so blotchy, so uneven. It grabs onto anything and everything. Like there's no evenness inside. If you look just a little bit more closely than from like 3 meters away, it looks super weird and it feels really uncomfortable. This I tried to use again for my new makeup updates like 2 weeks ago, and I just couldn't handle this on my skin. I was so overwhelmed. It was so uncomfortable. I had to take it off right away. I was like, this cannot be on my skin. You can make this work if you dilute it in some way to be so little on your skin that you hardly notice that you're wearing a skin tint. Then it can kind of work. Like if you take a really wet sponge, take the tiniest bit of this, it can work, but I don't think that should be necessary. Then this one, the Sational 10-in-1 Dream Primer by Catrice. I just don't understand. This is supposed to be like a universal primer that is gonna make your skin look amazing. Like it does all the things, but it has a light yellow tint, and it's like there are only a few people, like there's only a small selection of people that this is actually gonna work on. So why does it have that yellow tint? Make it without a tint or do a line of different shades, because on me this was weirdly yellow, and I think it's gonna be that case for a lot of people. It's also gonna be too light for a lot of people, like people with deeper skin can also not use it. So what is the point of this? And then another Kiko Milano product, I just have to mention the Weightless Perfection Wet and Dry Powder Foundation. I believe Kiko Milano has different powder foundations. I tried this one, but there are also some other options. I don't know if they are any better, but this one is fine when you use it dry. Like it's gonna look very powdery, very flat, very matte. It's not my taste, but some people could use it like that, I'm sure. But if I use this wet, it once again feels like actual cement is being poured on my skin. It feels so tight, it feels so dry, it's so uncomfortable. I don't like this at all. I never want to use it again. Then this one I'm gonna mention, but I only use it once, but I'm kind of like, there's no point. This True Match Nude Plumping Tinted Serum by L'Oreal. It is just so thick, it feels thick, it looks unflattering and cakey. It is just not a nice product. It is not what I expected from it at all. It's supposed to be a plumping tinted serum, but my skin just looks super cakey and dry when I use this, like the one time that I used it. I am trying to convince myself to use this one more time. It hasn't happened yet. I don't know. I don't want to use it again. I don't like this at all. Then Catrice came out with a cooling face stick in their Poolside of Life collection. This one I don't understand at all. I have compared this to just picking up a rock from the ground and then smearing that on your face. It has the same effect. Maybe this is a little bit cleaner, I will admit. But this is just like a rock. It feels like a cold rock. And while you are like this is just pretty similar to like just a cold rock. Like nothing really comes off it. It's just hard. And then when you rub it on your skin, it's like while you're rubbing it on your skin, it feels a little cool, but then when you remove it from your skin, like nothing is still happening, like a cooling sensation has gone. So what is the point of this? Can't I just take anything that feels a little cool? Like take a spoon, for example. I feel like that would make more sense. Like put a spoon in the fridge, then take it out, then put that on your face, cool yourself off with that. Don't pay money for something like this. Like there is no point to this. This didn't need to exist. Alright, this one I was really excited about. This is the Catrice Caffeine Kick Under Eye Serum with 2% caffeine. I was really into finding the perfect under eye serum, primer, cream, and this one sounded really nice. The thing with this is that it kind of creates this layer under the eyes that peels off if you touch it or if you try to put anything over it. Like this one is a very serumy and then you kind of like roll it under your eyes, but it's kind of like creates a film. Like it doesn't sink in, it lays on top as a film, and that just doesn't work. Like what is the point of that? Why would I want a film, kind of like jelly feeling film under my eyes? Like I want to be able to wear makeup. I want to be able to like maybe touch my under eye without it completely peeling off. It's really, really weird. This is not a good product. This was a year of very liquidy, stronghold brow products that are so heavy that they would just like weigh my brow hairs down and then it would stay like that. I basically have two of those here. So the Essence Fix It Like a Pro Transparent Brow Gel and the Catrice Super Glue Brow Styling Gel. This one, the Essence one, is just a see-through, and the Catrice one has a little bit of a tint to it. But both of these are super, super liquidy, and I have very long brow hairs. Like they are very, very long. And if they just become a little bit too heavy, they will fall down. And just like I said, if I apply these, my hairs will just fall down and then stay down. Like what is the point of that? Why are these so heavy and liquidy? They also just make my brow hairs look wet. And I want my brow hairs to look fluffy and light and full. These products were not good. Then we also have the Catrice Brow Sleek Laminating Wax. This just didn't basically do anything for me. It had a really weird kind of like white tint to it that you had to comb out of your brows, and like this didn't work. This didn't work either. Like didn't hold my brows up, didn't look good, didn't make them look fluffy. All three of these weren't good. Okay, we have some eyeshadow palettes. I decided to grab two eyeshadow palettes. There's also gonna be an eyeshadow palette ranking. These two, I just thought, okay, let's do it. Let's mention them in here because they really disappointed me, each in their own way. So here we have the Catrice Seeking Flowers eyeshadow palette. This just looks very cute. And I thought when this collection was announced, this is such a cute theme. But to me, this palette didn't make sense. Just the color story, I didn't get. We have this kind of beige shade that doesn't really do much. Then we have three shimmers and then this maroony matte. The thing is, these mattes don't show up, they don't work, they don't do anything. Like they are the most subtle lackluster mattes I think I have tried this year. And then the shimmers are super weird, not smooth, look very powdery. Like the look I did with this was so bad that I don't even think I tried to use it again. I was so disappointed. Like this is one of the worst products for sure that I have tried this year. And then I'm gonna mention the Klarity Cosmetics Lost Kingdom eyeshadow palette. I did a video with this, a first impression video, and I did use it again after that, but my mind had basically been made up. Like it was very clear to me that this was not my formula. I have seen people liking this, I think. Like I haven't really watched a lot of videos on this, but it's not for me. So the thing with this is that there are super, super crumbly, loosely pressed, fall all over your face and over the palette and all over your whole existence shimmers in here. Like this shimmer, for example, this shimmer, this shimmer, this shimmer, they are just falling apart as you're looking at them in the pan. They are so crumbly, and when you apply that to your eye, it's just falling all over. I have tried using a glitter glue, but I just find because these are such loosely pressed shimmers, it looks super thick and unflattering when they adhere to the glitter glue. I didn't like the look of that at all. Besides that, it's not my perfect color story. Like it's definitely a companion palette. I would need to bring in some lighter mattes somewhere, but I would be fine with that if this were my favorite formula. But this was a very expensive palette and I just don't think this is any good. I also don't feel like these shimmers are like super, super shifty. Like it's 60 euros or something where I got it. Like I paid like 60, 70 euros for this and it was not worth it. Like I just did my update on this. I did the update after my declutter, but otherwise this would have been decluttered already. This was such a dud. I feel like I'm going through this pretty quickly. I guess it's easier to tell you why I didn't like something because usually there is something very, very clear going on that isn't working for me with certain products. Okay, so I have here this duo by Kiko Milano. This is the Bright Duo eyeshadow in 08. And this is just lackluster, unpigmented, just nothing going on here. Like, this is just like, this is the matte. This is the matte and this is the shimmer. Like, the shimmer looks fine in a swatch, but when you try to apply it to your eye, it looks super crumbly and dry. And then the matte, like, how is this a matte? Like, this has no pigment. Like, that was such a disappointment. I'm thinking it's probably an older formula in the Kiko Milano line, but stay far away from that. Then I tried this Romand blush. This is the Better Than Cheek blush in SO2 from the Spring Fever collection. And in a way, this formula is quite nice. It could have been quite nice if this would have had any pigment. Once again, where is the pigment of this? Like, this is the blush. I'm swatching the blush. Like, I am literally trying to swatch this blush and like, almost nothing is coming off. Like, it just looks how my finger usually looks. Like, what is this? Like, there's no pigment. Like, the kind of glow that it has is kind of nice, but if it would have had any pigment, this would have been so nice. Why doesn't it have any pigment? I don't understand. Like, maybe there's something that I'm missing, but who needs a blush without pigment? Then we have this Kiko Milano blush, the cream blush from the Magnetic Nights collection. This is the one in 03, and this is just a very uneven looking blush. I also really hate the packaging. I never want to see a blush packaging or a highlighter packaging like this again. I probably will. For some reason this exists. I don't know why. Like, this is way too big for my face. Like, this is so much bigger than where I actually want to place my blush, and it just looks blotchy and uneven. I don't want to use that ever again. Then we have this Catrice blush from the My Jewels, My Rules collection. I broke the packaging. I just was trying to get the cap back on and it broke. But this is a pearl blush. So we have powder pearls in this packaging. The thing is that these are really pigmented, and the shades are kind of like far apart. We have golden pearls, we have kind of like reddish pearls, and then light pink ones. If you go into this with your brush and then apply it on your face, you're gonna see blotches where you have applied colors of a certain pearl. Like, this translates too directly to the cheeks. It's too pigmented. I feel like if the pearls had been smaller maybe, or if the colors were closer together, or if it was a little bit less pigmented, this could be pretty cute. Like, there is a potential to this formula, but to me this was unusable. I really tried, but it wasn't working. For some reason, I have a lot of Catrice in this category. We also have the Blushlighter stick from the, what was this collection called? The Generation Joy collection. So this is a highlighter and a blush stick in one. I do believe I decluttered this one. This looks like a really fun color, kind of like a berry shade with a highlighter. This, once again, has no pigment. It is so balmy, it's so unpigmented. I don't get the point of this. It also feels a little bit like misleading. You think you're gonna get a berry blush, and what do you end up getting? A wash of like the lightest shade of berry pink. Like, you can hardly see it. This is a really weird product. Like, who is gonna look good in this? Maybe like the fairest of fair, like paper white person would be happy that they can finally find a berry blush. Maybe. But for me, this was way too light. Then we also have, yes, more Catrice. We have these, why is there cat hair on everything that I have here in front of me? Because there's cat hair on my whole existence. Okay, so these are the Heart Affair stamp blushes from Catrice from their Valentine's collection, and these are unnecessarily bulky, but I can understand, like, they wanted to do something cute. They wanted to do something that's gonna catch the eye. Like, this is the, like, stamp, and then on the bottom you have the color. Right there, that's the color, and like, this is just soaked in the color. The thing is that this is really hard to blend. It's really pigmented, really hard to use, looks really uneven, really weird. Such difficult to use blushes. I do not understand these. Maybe someone with a deeper skin tone will be able to use it, but I wasn't. The last category is gonna be lip products. I have tried a lot of lip products this year, and some of them were really bad, and some of them are more like a question of taste. So first up, I'm gonna mention the ones that immediately became a hated product for me immediately in the first video, and these are the Pop Glosses by Revolution. These are tinted lip balms, and they are supposed to be glossy. Well, they are not glossy. They are kind of like this weird satin sheen, weird satin look, and next to that they are super patchy, super uneven, cling to all the dry patches, go and sit into the lines. All the pigment kind of gets into your lip lines, and it's just the most unflattering lip product I have tried, I think, this year. These were terrible. Well, these could also be a good contender for like most unflattering lip product of the year. So not all of the ones in this line were as unflattering, but these, a lot of these were really not good. If you want to see application, I have done a video lip swatching all of the ones from this line. These are the Kiko Milano Unlimited Double Touch from the limited edition that they did this year. I believe they had 6 shades or something like that. 6 or 7 shades. I bought them all. Most of them are really patchy, really uneven, unpigmented. I had to do 3 layers and then it will look kind of okay. I have some Unlimited Double Touch shades from Kiko Milano that are part of my absolute favorite lip products in my collection. I think this formula often is done very well. It's just really beautiful and lasts very long and is comfortable. But sometimes they also do shades that just don't work, that they don't test well, where the pigment is just not what it's supposed to be, where they are super watery. These were super watery and just looked so uneven. If you see kind of like the short video that I did of these, they look kind of good in that, but just watch a YouTube video and it's not good. So I'm not really saying that this whole line, like all of the Unlimited Double Touch by Kiko Milano, are bad, because they definitely are not, but I don't think they tested this limited edition very well, and I don't think they should have brought this on the market the way they did, because it was really not good. Okay, this one is, in my opinion, so bad, and I haven't worn it again, but I'm kind of thinking I probably won't. So this is the Essence My Heart Beats Disco Glitter Switch Liquid Lipstick. This looks super fun in the packaging, and when you first apply it, it looks super nice because it's kind of like this raspberry red with a cool tone fuchsia shimmer through it. Looks really nice. But then you're supposed to like press your lips together to reveal the shimmer in this. Well, this liquid lipstick is so sticky that if you press your lips together, you are just ripping apart the whole liquid lipstick. Like parts of it are just like ripped apart by your lips. Like it is so sticky, and then you are just left with like bald patches of liquid lipstick. It is so uncomfortable. It looks so bad. You cannot rub your lips together, which I think is a really weird thing for a glitter switch liquid lipstick. Then I don't think that everyone is gonna agree with me. I think some people could really enjoy this product, but I really didn't like the Modern Melt by Made by Mitchell. The thing for me is that these are so precise as a liner, as a lip liner for the outer line of your lips, that they make your lips look very small, and it's like something you cannot really blend. So you cannot blend your liner, your lip liner, into your lipstick, and it's just a really weird look. They are also advertised as possible to use all over your lips. I feel like they don't last that way. They just kind of lift up and crumble off, which a lot of these very long wearing products do. Like some of these formulas just don't wear well because they are so long wearing and adhere to the lips too much, where it just crumbles off. So this really wasn't for me. And then I think this was probably my favorite Essence limited edition of the year, but they still had a product in the limited edition that ended up in this video. So this is the Essence in the Bloom Light lip liner, and this is just so unpigmented, very waxy. There's just no definition to be done with this, to be had with this. It is such a strange formula. It is just kind of like applying a lip balm in the shape of a lip liner. I do not understand why this was in the collection. It also just looks way lighter on the lips than the lipstick in that collection does. So it's like, it doesn't even really match. I didn't like this. Then I definitely had a problem with Catrice and Essence of bringing out bi-phase lip oil after bi-phase lip oil. But the worst ones I think have come out this year. Like in general, I don't like the bi-phase lip oils. I don't understand why they exist. There's no point to them. I don't like them. But the worst ones that I've tried are definitely from the Poolside of Life collection. These feel so weirdly jelly and goopy on the lips. And they smell very bad, like very weird kind of hand soap, like a citrusy, herbally hand soap. Like, I don't want to have hand soap on my lip. Like, ugh, that's not good. That's not good. I don't like the way this feels. I don't like the way this smells. I don't feel like there's a point to this. This has got to stop. I wish they would stop. I don't want to see any more bi-phase lip oils. I know they're not gonna listen to me and they have their reasons for doing this. I guess they think it looks cool, but on the lips it's just a very, very weird clear gloss. And then this is also one I think a few people are gonna disagree with me on, but for me the Live Life in Coral lip balm from Essence really wasn't good. This is in the super cute shape of like a whipped cream. Like it's whipped in there. It looks whipped and it looks super cute. But to have this type of shape, to have it keep this type of shape, this is so hard. This is so hard. Like, I am pressing down on this and nothing is happening. Nothing. It's like a rock. What is it with rocks in this video? But it is so hard. And then it's kind of like, how do you even grab this product? If you just go with your finger a little bit like this, maybe if you can warm it up a little bit, you're hardly gonna have anything on your lips. You can also try to scoop out a little bit, but it's so hard that it's still very difficult to like get all over your lips. And once it is there, it just doesn't feel nice. It doesn't feel hydrating. It's just like this weird, still kind of hard and waxy feeling layer on your lips. It kind of feels like you're just grabbing a bit of a candle and just trying to hydrate your lips with it. But part of me feels like maybe that would even feel better than this one. I really didn't like it. I did see some people in the comments that did buy a few and did like it. I'm gonna throw this away. I'm not gonna give this to anyone. I'm just gonna throw this out. This was so bad. But of course, if any of your favorites are in this video, it's just my personal opinion. We all have different opinions. We can all have different tastes in makeup. That is all perfectly fine. You don't have to listen to me. It does happen that people in my comments say, you said that you didn't like this product for this and this reason, but for that and that reason, I did actually buy it and I did enjoy it. And that makes me really happy because I just feel it's the most important thing for me to explain to you why something is or isn't working. And then you can decide from that if that would also be the case for you. Okay, lastly, we have kind of a controversial one. I was debating if I would put this in, but honestly, the reason why I put these in kind of makes these unusable for me. I am mentioning the Teddy Tints by Maybelline here as well. And I can talk at length, once again, because I have updated you on this as well. I can talk at length. What is good, what isn't good, what is working, what isn't working, what kind of person would like these. But the thing is, this you cannot reapply. And because of that, I'm not interested in wearing these really. Like, I would wear them maybe for a video, like if I only wear it around the house, if I only wear it for a few hours, but I wouldn't wear this outside of the house because what happens is you apply this in the morning, it's gonna be really sticky for a while, but in the end it stops feeling that sticky. But then maybe you eat something a little bit too greasy. Maybe you eat a pizza, maybe you eat like a noodle soup and it's delicious. It is so good. But then after you look in the mirror and it has just worn off a little bit, like in the center. It happens with this product. It is possible. But then if you try to reapply it, it will just crumble off in bits and pieces. Like, at first it will look like it worked. It will look like it was possible. It's fine now. But then after a few hours, when you look in the mirror, it is gonna look so bad, crumbly, crusty, and half of it is gonna be gone. With these, you basically need to take it all off and reapply if a little bit of it has come off, which is just not practical at all because it is a very long lasting product. So then you would have to take an oil cleanser with you to the restaurant. Who wants that? I wouldn't do that. So for me, I'll probably keep them around for a little bit, also because these are pretty hype products. A lot of people are talking about them, but I just find these basically unusable. I wouldn't recommend them, but I have seen some people really loving it, really enjoying it, and saying that this is the best product that they've tried all year. Maybe they don't have the same issues as I do. I do have dry lips, and because of that, it's a bit harder for me to use these very like dry down, adhere to the lips kind of long lasting products that are transfer proof. So keep that in mind. But for me, these are not usable for what I would like to use them for. Okay, that's gonna be all the worst products. It's a lot, but I've also tried a lot of amazing makeup this year. Like, this doesn't compare to the amount of great makeup that I've tried. We're gonna be talking about that in my best of the year as well. I hope to see you there. Bye bye.